Ooh.
Hello and welcome to this Talk-ohhh-Challenge. It's a new Thursday. It's time to do some artwork. Now, if you're new to the channel, let me introduce you. I'm Sarah, the artist behind Pinselgeschichten, and I'm going to let you into my brain as much as I can when it comes to the planning phase of a painting, how I compose things, how I decide what medium I want to choose, all these kinds of things. So you can expect some weird thoughts maybe, and then later in the video you can watch along how the painting actually comes together in a time-lapsed version. And then I'm going to wrap up the video by, well, looking back, kind of reviewing, but I'm still too close time-wise, so it's not actually a real review. So let's get started. I'm using a word generator for this particular event, and I'm going to use, let me see what word it's gonna be. And the word is Meristem. The definition says a tissue of growing cells or cells capable of further division. So that instantly sparks two things. Either the growth of a child, like during pregnancy especially, that kind of thing, or the not so pretty variant, which is cancer. So what am I gonna do with the word? Do I want to go happy or maybe not so happy? Do I want to go clinical science, just like maybe a look through a microscope? Or do I want to have a very abstract painting of a fetus maybe? What's it gonna be? Decisions. What do I feel like? I feel like abstract, actually. So I might just go with the abstract thing, which is the cell under a microscope. So not giving it a context. It could be either the good thing, which is the pregnancy, or it could be the bad thing, which is cancer. And maybe I'm giving it a direction by the kind of colors that I'm gonna choose. That could be something. So next thing is, how would I approach that? If that is the painting. It's actually always helpful for me, since I start on an empty page, to have a frame in which I'm going to work. I could use the whole page as a frame, but that's usually not the way I go. Somehow it directs my mind and focuses on that one section of the page and not being overwhelmed by the blankness and whiteness of my sketch pad. What do I want to do? Maybe just weird forms. Cells look like they have a core and they have some jiggly, like a breakfast egg. Not a scrambled one though. And then maybe I'm having this weird medical picture in my mind that I saw when researching something. I saw that on the net. Maybe I just go from there, have one cell being the focal point, so to say, which has kind of tentacles going out. Excuse my voice. Although, and here's a confession, Although it's 4:15 in the afternoon. I just got out of bed. And that's not because I'm lazy, but it's because I went to bed so late. It was 5 a.m. this morning, I guess, something like that. And I did work until then. So it was not me being lazy and just sleeping in, but yeah. Needing my 10 hours of sleep nonetheless. So back to the painting. This is pretty much the photo that I saw. It was also a shot done with a microscope. So there was a big cell in the foreground and then just some pinkish colors in the back. So maybe I do want to go with that one. Or do I just want to go with patterns and have the cells, or splitting cells, like maybe have some that are not in focus, still keeping this one as a focal point, having them just divide and staying super loose with the lines and having kind of like a monochrome kind of painting, so that you could interpret pretty much anything into the piece. That could be something. Question then would be, what medium do I want to have? I'd say watercolors or acrylics could be cool. I don't want to go with pastels with this. I don't think I could have the depth enough. Like when painting with pastels, it's very difficult for me to paint abstract paintings only. But I could use mixed media as well, meaning that the background, the loose part, could be done with pastels and the focal point I could do with another medium. Because it's kind of difficult for me when it comes to abstract paintings, not landscapes or any paintings of objects that I do have in front of me or that I do have a photo of, but when it comes to abstract paintings, it's very difficult for me to have pastels and create enough depth, especially when I want to stay within one color only, so going kind of monochrome. Gosh, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna have the double challenge, like using the pastels, or am I staying on the more controllable media, meaning watercolors or acrylics? That's kind of difficult, I have to say. I think I'd stay with acrylics for this one. But maybe I make the promise to myself to try pastels in the next video. That could be a compromise there. Because that actually would fit perfectly on a 20 by 20 canvas. And I do have these artist boards that are not on a wooden frame, but you have a very solid cardboard board and it is covered with canvas. So maybe that would be a cool thing to have a painting like that done on that kind of surface, and just really have these parts here, and I'm gonna use a color so that you can know what I mean. Have these parts here be outlined like with a very strong color, and have everything else fall into place once I paint. because there's a lot of space here, and I'm not sure if I want to have the tentacles or not, like the nerve endings, I guess, or the connections to other cells. Don't know if I want to have them on the background, maybe just a hint. So maybe I'd stay very loose with all the other shapes that I could put in around these red lines here, and then just have my hand brain decide what I'm gonna paint, but have these 3 items be planned, and this one being the focal point, this one not being as much in focus, so that excuse me, that would be, I think, a cool thing. What do you think? Can you see a painting there already from just that loose sketch, or not? I mean, again, I want to stay abstract. You know what? I'm just gonna give it a go, paint it, and not think too much about it. And then I'm gonna come back and, well, share some more thoughts about if it worked, if it didn't, what I think, what I thought during painting as well. So let me set up, and I'm gonna be back in a few minutes with the final painting. Ta-da! There it is. There is Meristem. I hope I remember the word correctly. Let me get the word generator just to make sure. Meristem. I should write that down to not forget that. Meristem. Okay, there we got it. There it is. It's like I planned, very abstract. I decided to use some gel medium mixed with the acrylics for the cell in front, just to give it more dimension and more prominence in the painting, to put it into the foreground pretty much. It's I stayed very close to the planned drawing, so the two big cells here, and this is the one that had the focal point. I didn't go with the tentacles for the ones in the back, but that's what I already said in the planning phase, that I was not sure if I wanted to do that. I decided against it, and I also decided to tone down the tentacles in the front, these ones here, quite a bit, and only hint at them with white highlights there. It looks way more evil than it would have been had I just painted the lower cell here. But by using a palette knife and the gel medium, it's way more gooey, so you get rougher structures, which again makes it look more evil. Also, I decided to have some white and yellow splatter added, which could be the like the trigger, the tiny part that move into other cells and then make them split like the one does in the background here. I stayed very, very dark in the background around those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major cells, and I just worked a tiny bit with light and shadow to separate the sections, and that's that. Again, very abstract. You can pretty much interpret anything into this painting. Now, the colors that I decided to use in because I wear them today is turquoise, Prussian blue, mixing white, and for the yellow splatters, a bit of cadmium yellow hue. So these are all the colors that I in here, and I'm amazed again and again whenever I paint with acrylics how many mid-tones you can get by having a mixing white and one other color, especially here with the turquoise. You have so many different saturations, light and dark, of the turquoise. I really, really like that of painting acrylics. It's just a nice thing. Now, the thing is not dry yet, so I can't really touch it. But I will say I just let it dry, and then I'm gonna come back the week that I publish this video, and I'm very curious what I'm gonna think about the painting then. But so far I like it. It came to me very easily, and it was kind of a quick painting. That's also because of the size of the painting. So this is 20 by 20 centimeters only, which is not the biggest kind of canvas there, but I really like working on smaller surfaces sometimes, and today was such a day. So I hope you enjoyed watching along and getting a peek into my brain, though it was so quick this time that my thoughts are not really laid out step by step as they are in other Talk-ohhh challenges. Go back to the other challenges that came before. You will get way more insight into my brain there, just because it takes me longer to compose a painting. It was super quick this time. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you maybe want to throw a word at me that you want me to use instead of the word generator, feel free. I would love that. And I will see you tomorrow with a new painting, and next week's Thursday with a new challenge video. Take good care, go create, have a good one, and if you feel like it, share and subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate that. Have a good one. Bye bye.